Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to share this video with you today because I recently got back from hiking the Camino Primitivo of the Camino de Santiago in Spain. The Camino Primitivo is a 200-mile hiking and walking path that goes through northern Spain from the city of Oviedo to the city of Santiago de Compostela. I did this hike with a friend of mine, and in addition to doing the hike, we also brought along our paints so we could do a lot of painting of the beautiful Spanish landscape along the way. So in this video, I'm going to show you some of what we saw along our trip and of course a lot of the art that we got to do. So let's check it out. I hope you enjoy it. Our route started in Oviedo, which is a beautiful city in northern Spain, and our plan was to hike all day and head to the city of Grado, where we would stay that night. Oviedo has a beautiful cathedral, which we made sure to visit before we left. We then started the hike, which was really interesting. The hike is pretty cool because it's really well marked, and the markings that you see for the hike are these shells all over the place. So here you can see there is a shell in the sidewalk, and we followed the shells along the path to slowly take us out of the city of Oviedo and into the countryside. We weren't hiking during peak season, so we didn't see many people, but we did see a lot of cute animals along the way. When we finally got to Grado, we went to our hotel, which was on this beautiful hillside overlooking the town. And since it wasn't rainy, we decided we would take the opportunity and go to the hillside and do a little bit of plein air painting. I was a little nervous to paint because I was feeling a little rusty with my plein air painting, but I just tried to remind myself to stay in the moment, enjoy what I was seeing and appreciate the landscape, and just focus on learning and having a good time. The next day, we headed from Grado to the town of Sales. It was pretty rainy, so I spent a lot of the day hiking in both my rain jacket and my poncho. Thankfully, the rain cleared up in the afternoon, so by the time we got to Sales in the evening, we were able to do some painting outside. Here's me painting some of the cute houses we saw on the hillside. The next day, we hiked to Teneo. It was pretty cold and rainy when we got there, so instead of painting outside, we decided to go to a little cafe and paint there. I'd taken lots of pictures of the lush green farmland around us, which had become even more vibrant in the rain, so I decided to paint from those reference photos. The next day, we woke up to freezing weather, and it quickly started to snow. It's snowing! By noon, the snow had finally let up, and we reached the ruins of this beautiful church. The church was originally built in 1800, and the ruins were so cool. I loved seeing the plants taking over the old stone building, and also the way that the light filtered into the rooms. I would have loved to stay and paint there, but the sky darkened and it started snowing like crazy, so we quickly picked up our stuff and went back on our way. The next morning was freezing again, and we left the town of Pola de Allande to hike over a mountain pass. Made it to the top! Lots of snow. It was still freezing when we got to our destination that night, so I did a little sketch of the view from our hotel window. So we're day six, headed to Grandas de Salime, and we are passing by the most beautiful river. And the sun is coming out now, and we're away from the snow. It's very nice. It's gonna be a good day. We got to the town of Castro that night, and it was just warm enough to do some painting, so I decided to do a little sketch in my sketchbook. So I'm in Castro now. We just got to Castro. I did a little plein air sketch, and I did it of the landscape behind me, and it just started to snow, so I think it's time to go back inside. But yay! We woke up to this beautiful view the next morning as the storm had cleared and the sun was starting to peek through the clouds. We got to the town of Okarabo that night, and I didn't think it was very beautiful at first, but I really wanted to do some plein air painting since the weather was so nice. So I eventually picked a spot and did this little sketch of some of the rooftops in the town that I actually think came out really nice. It's a good reminder that sometimes really simple subjects or subjects that don't seem that special at first can actually be very beautiful if you pay attention. After another long day of hiking, we finally made it to the city of Lugo. It was really cool and kind of disorienting to come to a big city after hiking through countryside and small towns for the past few days. The other cool thing about Lugo is that the old part of town is surrounded by this old Roman wall, which is really beautiful. You can walk along the Roman wall to get some views of the city from above. But our stay in Lugo was bittersweet. My friend had gotten tendinitis from the previous days of hiking, and so we ended up deciding to cut our trip short and stop the hike there. The good news was that this gave us some time to do a bunch of painting in the city. Here's a painting I did of the rooftops of the historic part of Lugo. It was fun going from painting the countryside to painting geometric urban structures. Having cut our hike short, we decided to go to the city of Vigo, which is right on the Atlantic Ocean. We were hoping to go to the beach, but it ended up being pretty cold and rainy most of the time, so we spent most of our time inside. I decided to do several small studies based on photos that I'd taken on our previous days of hiking to test out different colors and compositions in my paintings. It was a lot of fun to paint with some really saturated colors, which tend to be pretty different from the naturalistic palettes I usually use. I also really liked doing these small studies in the sketchbook. When I was sketching, I really just felt no pressure to make a beautiful finished painting, but just to explore and to see how the different colors related to each other and how the shapes felt in the different compositions. The next day, we took a bus and finally made it to Santiago de Compostela, our original destination. It's a really cute, historic town in Spain, and we found this nice, grassy hillside in the park that was overlooking the cathedral and parts of the city. so we set up there and did a little bit of painting. We spent a lot of time painting and sketching in the town. Here I'm sketching a cool statue that we saw, and I really like to sketch statues because since they're all one color, it's very easy to focus on the simple shapes that are created by light and shadow. I also really enjoyed all of the narrow streets in the old town. They feel really European to me and are just so different to what I'm used to in the US. As I finished my last paintings of the trip, I was really sad that it was time for us to go. I absolutely loved hiking through Spain and seeing the Spanish landscape, and I'm really going to miss our days of walking and painting. Thankfully, I have lots of paintings and photos to remember it by, and I'm already planning my next trip. Here are the paintings that I did on the trip. I hope you like them. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and maybe even found some inspiration. If you liked this video, or if you're thinking about doing the Camino de Santiago, or if you've done a trip like this before, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!